he just does such a good job. He does such a good job of like dismantling reactionary talking points in a way that convinces the audience that like his interlocutor is the insane one. Okay. He does such a good job of being like, dude, what are you saying? Like he hits that line so well. I do want to watch the Bill versus Bill.
Hey, Club Random fans, guess what I did? I wrote a damn book. It's called What This Comedian Said Will Shock You, and it's available for Blows My Mind. But also, but just talking straight to the camera, just starting, and it's just you. Rush Limbaugh did it.
Yes, he did.
And you do it. But that is a rare skill, my friend, to just go.
It's probably some personality flaw in the rest of my life, but in that moment, it works. So, well, I know a lot of people that would agree with you.
Well, I mean, don't you have a childhood that lends itself to humor because of, what was the Boston comic who used to say he had a bad father like you did? And he was like, when Bing Crosby's kids were like talking about how Bing Crosby was, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, hey, my dad used to hit us with, your father's record. You know, that was a Boston comic. I forget who it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Don't make me play the clip again, Destiny fans. Destiny fans on an alt account as a fellow Destiny hater. Sure, bud. Don't make me play that clip again, dude. You're trying to get me back into show you the 30-second scroll on a subreddit. Okay, don't even do it.
But yeah, you have fodder. You know, like all of pain in life is fodder for art, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of how it works.
I mean,
that's class. Look at that. When I used to drink, I used to just fill it up till it was above the ice cubes.
Well, I used to drink like that too, but you know, we all have to throttle back.
I know.
As we get older.
I like that joke that you used to do. Said if you don't stop drinking as you get older, you start looking like a Kennedy.
Yeah.
But it's not
Ted, I said Ted Kennedy. Yeah. I mean, he did have that.
He had a lot of demons.
No, but he had.
He would have been a hell of a stand-up. All the pain that guy had, and then the pain he caused.
Ted Kennedy.
Oh my God, he would have crushed it. That giant head.
I know stories about him from like.
Let's keep it light, huh?
What could be?
Where you going? Yeah, you're going to Ted. You get Teddy Darkness. Can I smoke a cigar in here?
Of course, you can do whatever you want in here. But I dated someone whose mother, like, was someone he visited as a lady.
They had a book club.
What do you defend? By the way, you were very good as Jack Kennedy in the Seinfeld movie.
Oh, thank you.
That was perfect.
I had a great. Wasn't that a great movie?
So good.
I've loved it.
And you know what? I have to say, and Jerry was here just a few days ago. I heard terrible things about it. To be honest, I don't know
younger
why.
people, because I think younger people didn't know some of the references.
I don't think they even saw it yet. I don't know where that came from. And then I watched it. I was like, wow. Not only is the concept so genius, the juxtaposition of the most trivial thing in the world, breakfast cereal, with all that stuff that was going on in the 60s, NASA, and the.
What is this? I really like Bill Burr's whole arc. If you watch his specials chronologically, it's basically about a guy whose functional marriage is slowly making him less insane. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. The greatest thing that's ever happened, if you're an OG fan of Billy Tits, you know this to be an absolute fact. His friendship with Patrice O'Neal and his wife literally straight up made him into a well-grounded person. I know he is the original black girlfriend / black wife meme. Yeah, technically. You're not wrong. What? Ping him? What is the question?
Cold War, you know, all the.
But what's funny is the battle that Kellogg's and Post. It's the same battle that people are fighting with the Army. I loved all of that. I also loved when they went to the grocery store when Post and Kellogg's are racing to get their Pop-Tarts there. Did you notice one truck was a Ford, one was a Chevy?
No, I did not know.
Like there was a lot of like little things in there.
Oh, there were. But what's funny is treating it as if it was the end of the world, the space.
Yes.
That's what was funny. And Khrushchev, that it was important to the Cuba, the Cold War, El Sucre, all that stuff. And the pacing, for a first-time director, I love that about it, that it just moved. You know, it just
make good directors, though.
He wants to talk about anti-white racism. Oh, that one chatter? Oh, I forgot to show you guys this. The Daily Wire host defends using the anti-black racial slur in a friendly way. Walsh, no white person actually has any moral obligation to observe the insane, totally indefensible, ridiculous rule that decrees that this word is acceptable to be used in any and every context by one race, but in no context at all by another race. Get to the playlist. This is on the playlist. Shut the fuck up, Sheltered Rosebud. Take an hour off. We didn't move on. We're back on this. I want to get to the good shit, though. This is like banter.
Bill Burr directed this movie, Old Dads.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. You're right.
I thought you were going to say I didn't think it was that good.
No, I didn't know you
My
directed.
heart just went down like that. I was like, oh, God, I just set myself up.
I actually didn't know you directed it.
I directed it because there was no one available. That's the only reason why I did it, because we were coming out of the pandemic. So all the directors that were going to shoot something in 2020, whenever the hell it was, they didn't shoot it because we were quarantined. And then they were like 2 projects behind. So they started pulling that, like, it's going to go away. It's going to go away. Don't you say that for your parties when you're wearing your smoking jacket? Factory where it's like,
okay, but
this is a good conversation if my cigar goes out, buddy.
Think of how many comics that is over 40 years. You know, it's not a common thing.
Yeah, but that's like a special thing.
There are timestamps in here. Where are the timestamps? What is this? It's literally just a racism factory now. Okay, where are the timestamps? You already watched most of the good shit. 1 hour and 5 minutes. That's where he starts talking about Palestine.
Garrett.
We have to do Garrett. Garrett.
Brad Garrett.
Garrett, like Garrett. Yes, with an O. Not
so when he goes over there, they think his name's Brad Attic?
No. So anyway, Paul McCartney, he was with this.
Bill Bullocks.
Oh, here it is.
A number of the songs.
Dude, this is the most helpful. Dude, there are heroes. There are unsung heroes out there. Can I just say, there is literally no greater hero on the internet than the guy who goes through and meticulously details with accurate timestamps, the accurate timestamps on a YouTube video. First, let's start about the cancel culture bit, and then we'll move on to 24-hour news commentary creates brain rot.
Well, that's
what's over. Cancel culture?
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
That's so not true. Either one of them could get canceled in the next 2 minutes.
No. For what?
For
what?
You're
not doing anything. It was just like you did this joke about, you know, this group of people or that group of people, and I've decided to, I don't know. I feel like I'm going back 2 years of my life. Like I don't even think about it anymore. Nice ashtray, by the way.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
I've never known where I got anything. I probably should. Somebody gave this to me.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing they used to give you when you retired after a while. The watch and an ashtray.
When you think
Martini shaker.
When you think about like how much, you know, I don't know, you probably had similar upbringings, you know, you treasured like almost every physical thing you had, even if it was a hand-me-down. Like you had just certain things in your little room. And then as you go through life, so much stuff, and you don't even know where you got all the stuff.
Well, you know what about that? What's great about that is there's no upgrade. And everything became like disposable. Like electric cars or like laptops. Like after a couple of years, like they're not worth anything because of like the technology, which doesn't even make sense. But like same thing with like a laptop, with phones, all of that stuff.
What do you drive?
What do I drive? I'm a truck guy. I got a Ford F-250 and I have an old F-100.
Really? Why?
The same reason. Why does a guy drive a Ferrari down Sunset Strip and never take it to a racetrack? That's what he's into. My Ferraris, I always wanted a Ford F-250, 8-foot bed, regular cab.
Why? Are you hauling dirt?
Is that guy going to the racetrack? Have you ever driven one of those on a racetrack? You cannot flip them over. They're unbelievable, the technology and the respect you get for racing, of what they're putting their bodies through. Because I didn't, you know, I was driving like an asshole. I finally realized that you try to go smooth around the track, not try to just stomp on the gas and slam on the brakes. But like, I like driving. That's why I like cigars. I like going slow because my brain goes fast. And there's something about driving a truck. It's slow. It slows me down. And I
defend him. What do you mean? I love trucks. What are you talking about? I literally love trucks. I want to get the F-100 Concept Edition, the electric. You guys know this about me, I thought. Like, have you guys ever seen the F-100 electric Concept? I love that car. I love trucks. I think Toyota Hiluxes are the greatest invention of all time on 4 wheels. Okay, I love 4Runners, which is not really a truck, I guess, but it's still technically a ute. The Ford 100 to the Ford F-150 Lightning is decent, but nowhere near as sick as the Ford F-100 Illuminator. Here it is. It's only a concept vehicle, unfortunately. Wait, what? With new EV crate motor, customers can now buy? Wait, you can buy this? I thought this was not on sale. Okay, I know what my next car is. I was thinking about the G-Wagon. I was thinking about the electric G-Wagon. Customers can buy the crate motor, not the truck. Oh, okay. I was legitimately thinking about the G-Wagon, the electric one, for my next vehicle, considering that my lease is going to be up. After watching videos of it doing a G-turn over and over again, I got like kind of convinced that it's pretty sick. But I was talking to my friends who are very knowledgeable on Mercedes-Benzes because they used to sell them back in the day. And they were saying that the electrical work on a lot of the Mercedes electric vehicles, like the actual wiring or whatever, like it's sometimes has a capacity to fail.
You like driving?
I love it.
Me too. I would hate to be at that stage, or for whatever reason, where I had to be driven everywhere. You know, I mean, sometimes you do. Like when we're on the road, probably get
okay. That was
up by
brief.
somebody,
That cancel
right?
culture conversation was brief.
Cincinnati,
right?
But there's something, and I see these electric cars now next to me on the highway. That, I mean, not like self-change place.
I feel like people that watch 24-hour news networks get institutionalized to blame colors of ties rather than the corporations behind them, and they will just sit there convinced that, you know, Trump is the worst thing that happened to this country, or Biden is the worst thing that happened to this country. And it's just like, you know, you might want to just kind of push through that veil a little bit further.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have this thing, like when I get around like the 24-hour news zombies, I just, Jesus Christ, was that Geritol? Nobody under the age of 50 got that one. Remember that? I was on the Lawrence Welk show. He used to
right.
peddle the Geritol.
To my point, the 25-year-old is watching this going, look at these two old guys. They're not going, oh, the guy with cigars, obviously 13 years younger.
I know, but you have to go all the way down to 25 to appear my age.
Well, I don't.
You can see. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. You can just see the way we dress. We're not different people. This is like, you know, you come from, you know, the slacks generation. Like slacks were still a thing.
These are not
but slacks were a thing.
No, I look good. That's the difference. Is that you were wearing?
Look good.
You're wearing sneakers.
Throw that in my face.
You got a t-shirt on. Like
You look like a defendant. You look like you're trying to beat a drinking and driving charge. He doesn't have any priors, Your Honor. Look at him. He's wearing his Chelsea boots. He's a fucking, what do they call it? A productive member of society. He needs his car for work. I think that this should be a suspension, not a full-on.
Acting Ivy League.
You ever get bucked?
One reason they are prima inter pares among rock gods is that they.
I've never, when we were driving, my buddy had this sick ass, he had this F-150.
I bet he was funny about it.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Okay.
He was hilarious. Oh my God.
About the truck? Even?
Like,
that
dude,
good?
listen, I get it. You're not a knock-around guy. You looked up Latin words and you didn't hang out with the fellas, and they used to hang you by your underwear at the lockers. So now none of them are funny because this is your one thing. But I'm funny. They could never be as funny as me.
Well,
like there's so much shit about you that's funny that you're not even trying to be funny. Your whole outfit is hilarious. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
A shirt and pants is an outfit?
You dress like that, like you're going to sing that, what is that song? Splish Splash, I was taking a bath with your stupid little slippers that you're wearing.
Slippers? These are like boots. These are almost Beatle.
Oh, you're an outlaw.
These are almost Beatle boots.
They're Chelsea boots. I know that because my wife's into fashion.
They were the greatest.
What were?
Beatle boots.
Those were badass.
Well, that's what it was. It was like the half boot. That's what they sang.
That's
She
a
Loves You,
three-quarter
yeah,
tone.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so what
you know what I like about their music, and when it's like 2.5-minute song, and what they could say about a relationship that's still relatable. Like I used to listen when I really started going into their back catalog, right? Not back catalog. They're later in their career. Rubber Soul and all of that. Revolver.
That was not later. That was mid.
All right, relax, you historian. Go ahead, throw another Latin word at me. Anyway, I I started like listening to the lyrics, and I would be like, I literally just went through that with whoever I was dating.
Which song are we referring to?
I don't have them memorized.
I like that over the course of like, it seems like they're just very cordial and jovial in the beginning. And like around the 1 hour mark, things start changing, which I suspect is like Maher calling Burr an idiot for not taking a PJ everywhere. Burr doesn't want kids to die. Oh yeah, here. This is where it like starts cooking. Palestine campus protests. Maher Beatles lecture with Burr, calling him old and pretentious. Please don't buy any more expensive things. Getting hard to convince my leftist friends to get a subscription. Wait, what? You don't have to do that. You literally don't have to do that. If they don't want to see ads at the top of the hour over the course of like an 8-hour broadcast every day that they're consuming and subscribe for that reason, like that's one thing. But you shouldn't be going out to convince your friends to subscribe. You shouldn't be doing that. If they personally, after consuming my content for a long enough time, personally make the choice to be like, you know what? This shit deserves $5 a month. It's not that big of a deal. Or if they say, honestly, I already have a Twitch Prime subscription I'll use on him. That's fine. Or maybe you're like Token Black Guy, gifting 10 tier 1 gifted subs because you're like, I don't want 10 people to see the ads at the top of the hour. That's it. That's all this is. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. Got him. That was a layup. You gave me an alley-oop. Burr is likable throughout the whole thing. Busting his balls is the best way to grab the audience. I agree. Thank you for the assist. Let's get to the good stuff.
I hate Harvard. Are you kidding? Have you heard what's going on college campuses these days?
And the beautiful part is he's the one who brought it up.
Watch the news.
You don't realize that college campuses erupted with the kids demonstrating for Hamas? They are in with the terrorists.
They were for the Palestinians.
Well, it's sort of the same cause. Why, are you?
I'm on the side of the kids.
Yeah, that's easy to say. You know, no one wants to see kids dead. This is a war.
That was very brave of you to say that.
This is a war.
That's so funny. It's like it's brave of me to say that I want to see some kids dead. Like that silence is so cutting. It's so perfect. God, it's hard not to glaze this man. Okay. I love him so much. Billy tits. I know you don't know who I am, and I know you will never know who I am, but I love you, man. I love you, big dog. I'm a certified yapper and a grade A glazer, okay? The amount of energy I spend glazing old Billy tits, old Bilbo Baggins over here, literally is melting polar ice caps, okay? He would destroy you. I would let him destroy me. It would be an honor to stand side by side with Bill Burr. If he was just like destroying my worldview, I would just sit there and I say, yes, sir, you're so right. I love him. He's phenomenal. He is a phenomenal person to be a spokesman for your cause, especially because he's, one, endlessly charismatic, and two, he does such a great job. He does such a great job of like dismantling talking points while looking like an everyman, you know? Like he looks like a average Joe. He sounds like an average Joe. Sounds like a stevedore. He has hundreds of, I guess, you know, tens of millions of dollars at the very least, but he still ultimately lives a relatively ascetic lifestyle. He's a bald king, and he has, in some ways, bro, stop pretending you're a nobody. I'm a nobody. I can go to the Met Gala and no one say shit about it. You're an influential person with a significant following. It's not out of the question for you. No, it's fine. He just does such a good job. He does such a good job of like dismantling reactionary talking points in a way that convinces the audience that like his interlocutor is the insane one. Okay. He does such a good job of being like, dude, what are you saying? Like he hits that line so well. Stop fetishizing the balds. I will never stop fetishizing the balds. You can't stop me. It's not illegal. Bill Burr story on your subreddit. What happened? My brother Jewish felt unsafe at the recent Bill Burr show. Why was it removed? Fucking bouncing on it like you're sitting on a spring sun. There are a couple people that I absolutely blaze. And back in the day, it used to be Bernie Sanders, old Bernie, old Bernardo, LeBron James still to this day, and Bill Burr. Those are the three guys that are my goats. Okay. And yeah, Bernie is a little, you know, I will always respect Bernie. Giannis Varoufakis and stuff like I also obviously love. Oh my God, he's also bald. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, LeBron James, Giannis Varoufakis, Bernie Sanders, Bill Burr. Oh my God. Oh my God. All my heroes are bald. Lenin? Stop. Stop. Oh my God. What is happening? What is happening? Okay, stop. Let's just continue.
I'm the one who's actually brave on this.
Pat yourself on the back.
It's easy to say I'm for the kids. Who's not for the kids?
Well,
it comes down to real hard-nosed decisions. Like a country.
Stop talking like you're a general.
A country got attacked. Israel got attacked.
I'm not saying that they didn't have a right to go back. I'm just sitting there going like, how do I look at what?
We're the only country in the world that they get attacked, and then as soon as they counterattack, it's like, well, we got to stop this shit now. Don't attack them. There's a very simple solution to all this problem in the Middle East. Stop attacking Israel.
Hey, you
Stop
just solved
attacking
it.
Israel.
You just solved it.
I actually did.
There you go. That's fantastic.
Anyway.
All right.
We don't need to get onto that.
Let's go to Russia and the Ukraine. How do you solve that one, Bill? Let me hear your hard-nosed decision about that. Well, let me ask you a question. How is war still legal? With all this that's been canceled.
Legal.
Why is that legal?
Would you like a real answer to that? Because for something to be illegal, you have to have the capacity to enforce it. And you can't enforce against war, or else you have to go to war with the country that's going to war. And we don't.
It's just like this actually shows, like, this actually perfectly demonstrates Bill Maher's way of thinking. He's like, yeah, you can't, like, he made a silly remark, like, oh, how is war not illegal, huh? How about we cancel war? Like, he's not being serious when he says that. And then Bill Maher, takes him seriously and goes, oh, you want a serious answer? And then immediately starts demonstrating his worldview. Okay, that like, oh, you can't stop war because like you would have to go to war with the other country, and you know it's too powerful or whatever. It's like, no, man, it's because people make money. Okay, it's because people make money. That's it. It's always for resources. I don't think there's ever been a war throughout human history that wasn't about like ultimately about resources, whether it be land, whether it be gems, whether it be natural resources. It's just, that's it. And now the war economy in and of itself has become a very important resource.
We go to war with Russia over Ukraine. What would be the sense of making it illegal? Oh, that's really going to stop Putin. No. To stop people from going to war, you have to also put boots.
As a little reductionist, I mean, yeah, I'm just pointing to one singular aspect of why war occurs. Obviously, there's like, no, like here, this is a great example. Religion. No. If you think the Crusades were simply on the virtue of religion and not that religion was used as a galvanizing principle, you've got it all wrong. That was resources. It was expansion. Religion was simply used as a way to justify the need to do such things. U.S. Civil War, literally resources. Slavery was a commodity. Human beings were seen as capital. The right went to war utilizing the pre-existing racial pecking order and the fears that many had in the South that their culture would change in an effort to defend slave owners from losing their mode of production. Better put, industrial capitalists versus agricultural proto-capitalists. Pearl Harbor was in direct response to our blockades of the Japanese petroleum industry. Yep. In every single aspect of like religious war or whatever, it's actually still about expansion, colonial ambitions, and securing resources. Except they masquerade as like religious wars in an effort to add a secondary reason, a galvanizing principle. Religion plays that role.
And talk it out. Why can't Putin do a podcast with the head guy? Like, you just solved the Middle East on a podcast. Why can't they solve what they're doing on a podcast?
This is why this is not your thing.
Make some hard-nosed decisions. It's not your thing. It's what you.
It is my thing.
It isn't your
thing.
thing.
Is not
it
your
isn't.
thing.
You're like that guy that has a fantasy football team and thinks he's a GM.
No.
That's exactly what it is. Like, why am I fucking listening to you like you've done something? What have you done in Washington? Nothing.
No,
Just
I
a
would never
goon,
go to
92. Thank
Washington.
you for the 5 gifted.
Beneath you.
No, it would. Look,
You would be the coolest guy in Washington. You showed up with those boots
it would be so
and no
easy.
tie. They'd be like, oh, my God.
It'd be so easy to
Did
be
Kevin Bacon just come back to that Footloose town?
Kevin Bacon.
You could teach him how to dance, Bill.
Yeah, I absolutely could.
Bound, you get off your little private jet. I have a TV show.
And you travel Southwest, is that right, Bill?
I love Southwest.
Really?
I love the order.
Is that how you travel?
I love Southwest.
Do you travel commercial?
Most of the time, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I won't lie, this is a bit of an indefensible take. I think Southwest is really like supposed to be democratically organized. Like, it is so bad though. Southwest is like what right wingers think communism is. People are able to purchase like a line, like a better position on the line, so they can have their pick of the litter. Except, with the exception of the first row and every single, with the exception of the first row and I guess like the emergency exits, every single, including the seats on the first row and the emergency exits, every single seat is dog shit. It literally is the right wingers' understanding of communism or socialism. The true goal, obviously, and by the way, and that is because Southwest is a capitalist institution, the true goal should be to make it so that air travel across the board offers the same leg room that is like literally the same leg room that's like valid for every single person on the flight. Sit your ass down and listen. No, it's because it's equally shitty for all on Southwest, because their goal overall is to just like pack as many people as possible to make as much money as possible, because it's still a capitalist corporation. Complaining about airlines is such an influencer thing to do. It's such a passionate topic for podcasters. Wait, what? We live in the United States of America, chatter. What do you mean? Try going from like one part of this continent to the other, especially when there's no trains. Like, what are we talking about? I drive. Okay, good luck. Like, plenty of regular people also fly. I'm a Southern Ontario Crody. Oh my God. Come on, like you would spend a day in a train. I have. And it was a joyful experience every single time. Whether it be the Surfliner on the coast of the California water line from San Diego to Los Angeles, or obviously a much more elevated experience in the form of a bullet train going from Tokyo to Kobe. Okay. And in my childhood, I used to also frequently take the train in Turkey.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bigger plane, better pilots. You don't get knocked around as much. You ride in a fucking Cadillac. The only thing that sucks about commercial is boarding. That's it. Once you're there and you got your fucking shit up there, you're flying first class. Which all first class is, if you've never flown it, is they treat you like a human being.
Oh my God, this is a one-to-one verbatim Hasanabi take. I swear to God, someone find the clip. I've said this verbatim. I'm not even kidding. The only difference between business class and economy, other than like the obvious legroom, is literally they treat you like a human being. I have said this. I have said this verbatim. When you fly business class, they literally just treat you the way that like everyone is supposed to be treated. Oh my God. Oh God, I love him so much. No, he's not a Hasanabi head. It's just that we view the world in similar lenses. Verbatim. I mean, it's not like that unique of a take, to be fair, but yeah, we just we think alike.
Most of the animals in the back, they just throw you back there. That was my whole career, working my way up to being treated like. I remember the DC-9 when you sit there and your window didn't open because there was an engine there. You don't remember that?
I exclusively fly economy, and honestly, I'm being treated subhuman. Are you kidding me? I've been flying both to America since like a very early age. Obviously, I'm 32 years old now, so it's been like 30 years of flying. And I have genuinely seen the change in both American domestic travel and international travel, where they like, through price leadership, not price fixing, mind you, price leadership, have created an environment that is like legitimately unsustainable for human life. Slowly but surely, over the course of years, they've literally made things that were obviously seen as amenities, things that were free with your ticket, become costly things that you have to purchase, all the way down to like literally only being able to bring a personal bag now in certain airlines. And for years and years, I did this thing where out of pure resentment and spite, I've talked about air travel quite a bit. For pure personal resentment and spite, I literally never even upgraded to, in early chatters remember this, I never even upgraded to economy plus. Back in my day, emergency rows were free. We didn't have to pay for that shit. It was free. You would ask kindly the wonderful lady or sir that you were too tall to sit in a regular seat, and if they could put you in the emergency exit, they would always say yes, okay? Then they started charging for that shit. But not only that, but because I'm such a stubborn, spite-driven asshole, that I refused to even upgrade because I was like, that. I would literally bring, if you guys remember, I would bring my big-ass bag that I would lug everywhere that had holes in it, okay? Because it was technically a carry-on, even though it actually wasn't a carry-on. It was like the size of a check-in luggage. But because I was a big dude, I would carry that shit around. Everyone used to make fun of me, okay? And then one day, I got upgraded to business class. And that's when I realized, like, what the f*** am I doing? Once my ass touched a lie-flat seat, dude, my life changed. Once my ass touched a goddamn lie-flat seat for a 6-hour flight, I was like, oh my God. I have literally been, like, I have the capacity to buy this. What the f*** am I doing? What the absolute f*** have I been doing? I've been just, like, torturing myself in, like, insane amounts of knee pain, back pain, not even being able to fit on the seat without shoving my feet under the seat. Do you understand? I even talked about how my attitude, I was worried that I was going to become, like, out of touch as a consequence of such things, which in some ways I have. Okay.
I can't.
How about that last row in the DC-9? The window doesn't open. There's an engine right there, and then right across from you is the bathroom. And you got to listen to another human being take a behind one of those things starlets used to get undressed behind.
I'm still stuck on you defending
Stuck on you.
Still stuck on you defending commercial flights as better. Now, you can make the case that it's wrong to fly private. I get that. But I've never heard anyone make the case that it's actually better to be on Delta. That's kind of cokey. No?
Oh, no, I hate Delta. Delta's the worst.
I bet you fly private more than you're letting on.
Listen, listen.
But-
If I have to go somewhere and I don't have enough time to get there.
Oh, suddenly we've got an exception.
No, I said mainly I fly commercial.
Well, you're an idiot.
This is an insane conversation that they're having, by the way. He's so mad that he said flying commercial is valid. It's like he's mad that he's saying you should fly commercial when you can, even if you have the money to fly private. Like, that's an insane... Like, how are you talking about how out of touch the kids are, bro? How? What a argument, dude. It honestly doesn't make any sense that he's out here being like, yeah, dude, you're crazy. You should be flying private all the time. Like, first of all, you're Bill Maher. Ain't nobody gives a shit about you, okay? You could fly commercial all day, every day. Nobody's going to be like, you're not Taylor Swift. And even then, I think Taylor Swift should still fly commercial regardless.
You shouldn't. You know what?
What was this? If I don't agree with you, I'm an idiot.
You're right. I apologize.
John Varvatos shirt. You're not young. Put on a sweater, for sakes.
Put on a sweater. Why? I have to be...
At your age.
That's the secret in life. Avoid that.
No.
Don't you think?
No.
No?
Well, hey, I'm an idiot, right? No, I think the number one thing is to be your age. Like all these people, like they go do a college gig at my age. I'm going to be 56 next month. Be 56.
Yeah.
And come at them as a 56-year-old, and then you can give them advice on all the shit that you did and just say, hey, this worked for me. And you can just have a great time with them. You can have a great time. What you up is if you're looking at what they're wearing and, you know, you fucking come up with your little outfit.
I don't know why that this simple shirt and pair of plain black
Can I tell you something?
jeans.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with what you're wearing. That's
There's
why
no-
it's so much fun to just make fun of it. It's a little bit of a
It is.
pirate shirt.
And
You got a lot of extra
you're kinda-
material in the. You know what? That's what it is. It's this.
What?
First of all, you should have buttoned that if you actually were the gentleman you're trying to be.
Button this? Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. But
You had a woman in your
but you're
life,
right.
she
It's
wouldn't let you
almo-
go on camera like
It's
that.
almost like we're giving you like an advanced comedy test. Like, can you make fun of this? Which is
All right, let's
pretty
not get
bland.
crazy like you're a fashion.
Stormy Echoes, hey, not dogging on you. I'm really, really curious about the C-er drama. So if I call Frogan a cracker, does that work? Like the idea of a racial slur is that it's a slur targeted at a race, right? So if it's not, then that would be fine, right? I mean, you could call me a cracker. Many people do. I think it's pretty funny. I'm white. I'm sure Frogan would find it white too, or find it funny too. She is white. Fly, first class. Well, not first class business. It's the same shit. But it doesn't matter. First class is just like more expensive for no reason. But once I started flying business, now I don't have that. I don't have that experience any longer. I don't. It's just the reality, right? It's just the reality. This was something that money was able to. This was something that money was able to open up for me, like the privilege of being able to fly like a human being and feel like a human and not like a piece of cattle shoved into a sardine-style tin can. Okay? So you're worried it will make you out of touch? And it does. It does make you out of touch. It does, 100%. That's a deep cut with ethnic Santa.
Kind of bland, you know.
Like your opinions. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then when I,
so
go against you,
gratuitous.
then I go, ooh, a big word, another big G word. Look at you. You memorizing that part of the dictionary? I don't have kids. I got all day long. Read the dictionary. Use my $3 words with a guy who unloads trucks.
Oh. Why do I think there's?
Why don't we do we got to do a buddy movie. This is like perfect. This is Walter Matthau,
I'm
Jack
certainly
Lemmon.
not going to do a movie, but there is something about.
You seem like an actor.
There is something very very mineable about this vein of comedy of the single guy, the married guy, the pompous professor guy,
no. But I
and
also
the blue collar guy. I mean, it does kind of write
And that
it.
was Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is one of the great dark comedies of all time, where you had this super smart teacher, and he had like his biggest up as a student, and then they have to somehow work. It was The Odd Couple.
Oh, you know
It's
what?
fantastic.
I never watched that show, and I know everybody loves it. I'm going to watch it now because that is interesting to me.
I'll tell you what was the coolest thing about that show is, you know those, anytime you make a TV show or a movie, you always have these people that go, no, that never would have happened like that. Dude,
Yeah.
everything that they did, right down to me and Lavelle Crawford laying on that pile of money, they figured out how much money Mr. White would have in what denominations and how high it would be to shoot those people down. When we did this train robbery scene, I got to be on that. It was so robbing a train. It was amazing. And they would whatever chemical they had in one of them, they used to make meth. So they were taking it out. My job was to stall the train. They take it out and then replace it with water. And they had their team figure out how long that would take. And they said, we literally had somebody that would be on the internet. That wouldn't happen like that. They said, actually, it would. The volume of water is this, the volume of that. And they would just shut them down like a comedian, just chopping the head off of the loudmouth asshole in the front row. They did that while making one of the greatest shows of all time.
That is satisfying.
Oh, I already loved everybody liked the show. It was one of the most efficiently run. They just knew what they wanted to do. I did one of the first times I did the gig there. We got through the scene so fast, they switched my flight from the next day Southwest. They go, we can get you right now. We can go get your bags at the thing. And I felt like Elvis.
Do you have like a deal now for make more movies somewhere?
No,
No.
it doesn't exist anymore.
What?
It doesn't exist.
No more.
They don't do those.
more
They don't do
three-picture
like
deals?
they're getting away from first look deals. Like I'm always late to the party. Like when I started stand up was right after the '80s. All the balloons were popped on the ground and everybody was getting their wages garnished.
Oh yes, that again. My generation ruined everything.
I didn't say you ruined. I never
No,
say
but
that.
that '80s. That's when I was starting. I mean, that's when I was a young comic.
All right, but I didn't say you ruined it.
I know.
I'm just saying, no, but it got bloated. It was on every channel, and then it went.
Right.
So I used to open for guys.
It got bloated, yes.
Yeah, and I used to open for guys, and they would try to discourage me. They would be like, oh, man, I didn't know why you even started. If I was your age, I would get the out of this business. That's what they told me. And they would be like, Wednesday night, look at this. There's no.
He's even out of touch among other movie stars. Yeah, look how defensive he got. Look at how defensive he got. Oh, here we go. My generation ruined everything. Bro, you're talking to a guy who's your age, man. Like, you're literally talking to a movie star your age, and you're so triggered by this, like, notion, this, like, outside battle that you are perceived of having all the time, that you can't even have a guy like that tell you what's what. Mars, 13 years older.
You know, 3 years ago, there'd be a line down the block. And I didn't have any deflector shields, you know, so I would be listening, go, really? Oh, my God. Should I quit? But fortunately, I sucked at everything else in life. So I really didn't have any options.
Yeah, I didn't have a plan B either, really. I remember when I got out of college, I sent out resumes to advertising agencies. I guess I thought I could get that as a day job, be an ad man, you know, write ad copy.
I could see that.
I could see it too. I mean, yeah, you know, it's not that different from stand-up in a way. You're trying to be humorous and pithy and okay.
You probably talk down to a few clients, but you throw those words in, and they'd be like, "This guy's smart. This guy knows how to sell these widgets."
I'm telling you, when we both flame out and doing a morning talk show in Seattle, this kind of stuff is going to be gold. it's Fart Man and Asshole Jack.
Yep. Oh, that was morning radio. Morning radio was always a real name, and then, you know, Eddie and the Bulldog. It was always something like that. We got Wild Man Vermouth with Jerry. It was always a regular name, then something crazy.
So there's no more three-picture deals, no more like deals at streaming services?
I shouldn't say that.
Don't they need
for
content?
someone like me?
Really?
When
old
when
dads
you're a bald ginger in Hollywood, it's basically.
But didn't old dads do very well?
Yes, it did.
Then why?
Can we stop talking about rich assholes if it's not to dissect class war, please? Who cares about rich assholes? What are we doing reacting to them? Thank you, base chatter. Your contributions to the Maoist-Leninist project has been noted. I am going to give myself 4 lashes specifically for the counter-revolutionary sentiment that I've expressed by looking at these bourgeois traitorous scum who are actually doing their very best in line with their class interests. I have once again done a no growth. I will absolutely engage in praxis. Thank you. Thank you so much for your statement. Wasn't Old Dad reactionary? I don't know. I don't watch all of the shit that he makes.
During the strike, it was.
Chat really thinks watching us on is activism. This is entertainment at the end of the day. Thank you. One of them is acting according to his class position, at least. Yeah, you have someone who is like a relative class traitor versus someone who is absolutely one of the best classist pieces of shit. And I think that this is a perfect demonstration, especially because they're both famous and a lot of people pay attention to what they have to say. And a lot of people will pay attention to what my analysis is overall of what they have to say. None of which is activism regardless. Yes. In the words of Patrick Bet-David, this is valuetainment.
Let me, for everyone who worked on that movie, Bobby Cannavale and all of those amazing actors and everybody.
I like him.
Patrick Don Vito, everybody helped me edit the thing, Ben Tischler, all of them. We were #1 globally on Netflix 2 weekends in a row, and it streamed like 50 million.
Because who around the world doesn't understand the concept of old dads? Certainly in Pakistan.
Well, maybe we just made a good movie.
No, so, okay, so riddle me this about the business.
Was there a compliment, the thanks?
What?
There was no compliment in that.
Actually, there
Kind
was.
of on it, like you didn't think that it went global.
No.
I didn't say in Pakistan they were watching. They might have. You don't think there's some old dads there?
No. What I said, it was.
Oh, that's right.
It was,
you figured out the Middle East. I forgot.
Hit. No. I found a way to craftily get a very good compliment into you.
Well, that's what it is.
Without making it look like one. Because I am the pompous professor, my friend.
I like it.
I know you do. So anyway, But riddle me this about the business, because I'm always reading, as we're always talking of people at dinner when we're in this town and we're all in the business, and we're talking about the changing and the streaming and everything. Why is it, if a movie does well like that, then there isn't at least a offer to do the next one? Or
Because the people running it now, they're kind of doing like what Germany did, where they tried to take over the whole world, and you can't do that because there's just so many people don't want that. But there's always something in every business, like Amazon or Walmart. They're always trying, let's open up across from this mom and pop and put them out of business, and we'll be only showing time. Like,
That's such a funny way to describe that. You are not an activist? I'm not, dude. I'm not. Okay, shut up. It's not activism to watch YouTube videos, okay? I don't have hate in my heart for anyone, but this piece of shit irks me to my core. His voice. He's such an alcoholic. Yeah. Bill Maher has the tendency to, I think, do agitative propaganda in the direction of the working class by just behaving in the ways that he does. Like, I think him and Elon do overtime converting people. Not to brag, but I just emailed my representatives using a pre-filled email from JVP. Nail care. Meanwhile, you're watching Bill versus Bill. Keep it up, sweaty. Respect. I love that.
there's just always people doing that.
You glaze him so hard. Dude, you didn't understand what I was talking about. I literally am not even talking about Bill Burr. I'm talking about Bill Maher and saying he's a piece of shit. And his behavior is so smug and so elitist and so out of touch that he unironically converts people towards being pro-labor in order not to be on this asshole side.
So what does that have to do with hiring a guy who just had a big hit movie to do another hit movie? If you want to take over the world,
streaming service have devalued art. Where back in the day you used to pay $10 to go see a movie. Now $20 you get all.
Even talking
you get
about art.
all
We're
the
talking
movies.
about
That's what I'm talking
we're
about.
talking about
You ask me a question, I'm trying to answer it.
We're talking about success. The movie.
Why don't you just tell me what it is rather than ask me? We could save some time.
No, I'm asking because I don't understand. The movie had success. Doesn't matter if it was art or not. It had.
And I can tell you what happened to me. I went back and I pitched another movie to 2 junior executives, and I waited 6 weeks to get an offer that it was just like it never happened. Still starting out like that movie never happened. And that's kind of like, that's how the acting world, that's why I think being an actor is so much harder than being a comedian. Because if I come through town, first time I headline your club, I draw okay, but you see I'm funny. We'll take another chance on this guy. I come back, even if the same 30 people show up, but you see I have a whole new act, they see it. And you've proven you're funny. I don't have to reprove that I'm funny.
No.
Again, we're an actor. This actor's with an Oscar. And there's people going, yeah, I don't know. Can they play that? It's like they won the highest award. And I have empathy for actors for the lack of control they have. First of all, you do the performance. And if you're not in the edit, especially if it's a comedy,
right,
and you get the wrong guy editing it, they're going to leave you hanging out to dry. Like, the actors really are like the quarterback of the team, where it's like, if you win, you're Joe Montana. If you lose, you're a bust. And it, like, a lot of times, and as you're making a movie, you have no idea how it's going to come together.
No idea. I've been on enough movies to know it is just always a mystery. There's so many things that can go wrong.
Are they going to promote it? I did this really, really great movie, Front Runner.
Bill Burr did not do a good job in this debate. All he did was ad hominem Bill Maher for having more class than him.
And it came out the same weekend as Aquaman. And it was just, I saw one of the stars promote it for like 2 days.
Yeah, I never heard
And then
of
the
it.
next time I saw him, he was promoting his next project. And I said, oh my God, they're burying it.
Chatters, he's joking. Calm down. Jesus Christ. He's obviously joking. Oh my God. I know the environment is stressful right now because we watched Bonarelli clips earlier. But goddamn, son, dial it back a little bit. We're having a little bit of fun, okay?
It's not going to get, and it's
What
just.
was it on?
What was it? It was in the movie theaters.
It was in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, most.
It was. You would have liked the movie. It was about Gary Hart.
I would have watched it.
It was
Gary
about
Hart.
Gary Hart, and it was about the first politician.
Never heard of it.
Where they went into his personal life, and there was this big debate.
What did you play?
I played one of the reporters for the Miami Herald, and the big thing was.
Oh yeah.
There was like a battle at the paper. They had this great scene where it's like, we can't run this because we'll be like a tabloid. And then the big thing was Gary Hart said, hey, I'm an open book, you know, go ahead, look at everything.
Right.
He said that
No.
because infidelity, Teflon Don, none of it's 4 years. Bill Clinton comes in and he's like the Teflon Don. None of it sticks to him. And he still ends up getting elected and does 2 terms. Like, he must have been thinking like, oh, I could have done that.
I hate how Maher used to be this hero for stoners, and now he can't even drink a glass of whiskey and smoke a J without sounding like he's about to pass out. You should be able to do that easily. Pathetic. He also personally, literally had like actual, like problematic, but I wouldn't say problematic, radical takes, right? Like religious Bill Maher, like back then. Yeah, sure, he was still like an Islamophobe and whatever. But he also had smoke for a lot of other, for all of the other religions. But beyond that, he straight up said that 9/11 attackers, like him or hate him, are actually participating in an act of bravery in comparison to what we do, which is lob missiles from thousands of miles away. That is a literal take. That's a Bill. That is a cert. He's the original 9/11 Andy. He said, doesn't matter what you think. You want to talk about bravery. The 9/11 attackers used box cutters to take a plane and drive it directly into the Twin Towers. And that was, by the way, like 2 days after 9/11. He said that, I think, within the 24-hour time frame or something like that. Like it was an unimaginable quote. He said, it's not brave to kill people, in my opinion. Yeah, no shit. This is not even to hype up the, Muhammad Atta and shit, okay? It simply is a statement about the way that this conflict plays out, the way that this conflict unfolds, okay? We talk about the bravery. Yeah. We have been cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly. Staying in the airplane when it hits the building, say what you want about it, not cowardly. That's what he said.
On Politically Incorrect, the show that once followed this.
And he was unimaginably canceled. Like, he literally was canceled for that. His show was canceled for that. Like, I'm shocked that his life wasn't canceled for that. I feel like if he was Muslim, they would have killed him.
He made this infamous comment less than a week after 9/11.
We have
okay. It was a week. It was less than a week after 9/11. Think about how insane that is. People canceled me because I said America deserved 9/11 like almost 20 years after the fact. This mother literally said it like in the week. There were still Americans under the rubble at that point. Okay? We had not even made an accurate assessment of the accurate death toll. And this motherfucker, like, you know what's brave? 9/11 attackers.
been cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away.
Absolutely.
That's cowardly.
That is a
Staying in the airplane
yes.
when it hits the building.
That is
Say
a
what you want
terrible,
about it, not cowardly.
Now, what's ironic about that statement is that he's basically saying what I have said as well in a different way, which is 9/11 is America's chickens come home to roost moment, right? Like, obviously, if you keep meddling in the affairs of the Middle East over and over again and lob cruise missiles over and over again in the Middle East, like, someone's going to be like, all right, f you then, right? That's basically what he's saying. He's saying it's like unironically cowardly to do that where we're at. And then, of course, it's going to end up, hurting us, okay? The timing is everything in comedy, and making a 9/11 joke on 9/12 is impeccable timing. Yeah. So what I find really interesting, what I find particularly illuminating about like the career trajectory of Bill Maher after that is that like he obviously recovered from that. It took a long time to recover. And I think that that broke his mind on, like, I guess that broke his mind on, one, cancel culture in general, because he actually did eat that cancel culture dick. And he also leaned into more reactionary attitudes that he had towards Muslims, which was like a perfectly permissible target. It was a valid target. It was a target that everybody loved when he got edgy on. And I think that's what it is. It didn't take that long. He immediately got a show on HBO a few years later, less than 5 years later. Are you kidding me? 5 years is an insane gap in your resume. That's 5 whole years, bro. You can't say immediate. Yeah, that is a valid cancellation. Like, and valid is in, like, not that people were valid for canceling him. I'm saying that that was a real cancellation. That actually was a cancellation. Bro was unemployed for 5 years and you just said, oh, that's nothing, dude. He's rich. He can withstand it. It's like he was basically in the beginning of his career too. Like, I mean, it wasn't beginning, but like, you know, that dude went from network TV to premium cable. I know he still found a way to overcome it. I don't think you guys understand. Okay. He said something that was bold at a time when statements far kinder than that was considered unimaginable. The point I was trying to make here is that I think played a role in his radicalization. That I think played a role in fucking the way he operates.
I didn't know that.
Right. Yeah.
I could have just went like, you know, I did not have sexual relations. I love the look of determiner. I did not. Like, I always wondered if he stood in the mirror and got that bottom lip.
He was something. But
yeah.
I'm still so puzzled by this, though, that I mean, just in their interest, you'd think it would be in their interest if you did something that was successful for them to want to, that's all, I mean, you could always count on that in show business. Art is just always, that if you're lucky, it coincides with their business interests. But profit, success, people bought it, that's what they care about. That's what I don't understand about this. It's in their interest. So something is very fucked up in this media age we live in when success is not rewarded. And I've heard a lot of people say that about streaming, that success is not rewarded like directly like it was back in the day. You bought a record that went to #1. You know, people actually went to the store and bought it. We knew which was most popular. Same thing with movies, the box office, like streaming.
Yeah, now like streamers, they're holding all the cards. It's like Stripes. Remember Stripes, that great scene? John Candy, and he's looking, yeah, man, you lost again. He's looking at his cards and shit. Like, you know, they give you the numbers, and it's just like, how do I know that's true? Like, like you have, like, for the awards season, they can go, this is a massive hit, blah, 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 blah. And then when you come to be like, okay, it's a massive hit, can I have some, well, you know, the numbers weren't that good. Like, the numbers are whatever they need them to be. It's become like that. So, I mean, so I just roll with it. I mean, if that's I don't think it's going to stay like this. Like, and it's like,
Or like, are you working on scripts though for
yeah,
idea?
we're me and Ben Tushel, we're writing another one. We got another great idea. It's another thing. It's in the title, you know what it's. That's what I liked about Old Dads. You knew what it was.
Right.
And then within that, you could touch on a lot of bigger topics with just regular people. Like, we were commenting on, you know, sort of like summing somebody up in one tweet.
And you like the process of like writing a movie with somebody?
I love writing. I love writing dialogue. And one of my favorite things to do is I want every actor that shows up to be excited, like that we wrote them something that's going to be fun to say, because then they come to the set.
Of course.
They have fun.
Well, that's how you get an actor to do it.
Yeah. And then for the crew, all you do once a week, you bring in a food truck, you know, and a coffee truck on another day. They're like, okay, this guy gives a fuck. Like, the bar is so
you
low.
Feed your crew once a week?
No. There's a regular thing. But once a week, if you spring for a food truck, because that's coming out of your pocket, that's not them. They're like, all right, this guy's a solid guy. So then if you have a long day, because shit isn't working, which is going to happen, they're not looking at you like, you know, how many times can I eat this fucking lasagna? You know, lasagna is like the like if you got to cook for 100 people,
Right.
they come out in those aluminum trays. If a truck comes up every once in a while, you gotta give somebody a ray of light, you know, as they're doing it.
It's a great tip for the kids out there who are
It
thinking
is,
about
though.
going into the business and treating crews bad or good. Once a week,
Can I tell you how
food
low the
truck.
bar is? How low the bar is?
Oh, you just did. A food truck once a week will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I tell you, just saying good morning to people. They're like, you're like one of the nicest guys I ever worked for. It's just like, what the fuck happened to you? Who doesn't say good morning? There's people that don't say good morning.
No, I mean, look, I would not.
I can tell. I know who doesn't say good morning to people. He's sitting across from you, Bill. You know his ass is one of those people that's just like treats people like they're invisible.
Have the, oh my God, to do a movie. First of all, you got to get up at like the crack of dawn. I mean, it's like I remember in the '80s doing that. It's like all you do
Then
is
doing
the
DC
movie.
Cab, right?
DC Cab.
Yeah.
Right, my first big picture. You do the movie.
Both ends of the Bill spectrum here. Okay. The rest of this seems kind of boring, like Casablanca, Kendrick versus Drake. Okay, I'll hear what he has to say about Willow Smith's new album.
What music do you listen to, Bill Burr?
I'll tell you the latest thing I downloaded, Willow Smith.
Willow Smith?
Just put out a fucking incredible album, and what I'm loving is the drums are incredible, and so much of it is in like an odd time. I was trying to play along to this one song it started in 7, and then it stops. There's a bar of 8, and then you play in 7, and then the chorus is in 4. And I literally had to write it out to try and just figure out like the first friggin' half of it. So I listened to that. I still listen to Zeppelin. I've been listening to Kenny Rogers. I like old school country.
Yeah,
I like I like a lot of hip hop right into right about Biggie dying and Jay-Z coming up. I liked all of that. I liked storytellers.
90s.
Yeah, and a lot of the 80s shit is really cool too, but like basically the 90s. And what I loved about Biggie was he was fucking hilarious, and he was an incredible storyteller, and his stage presence was unbelievable. And the fact that he was only 24, he did all of that by 24, and you know, I was really into that. Now, you know, you just age out of it because people are talking about stuff. I mean, not like I could relate to what he was.
Actually, Bill, I wish we could, but there's another rap war going on currently. Maybe you've heard about it, between Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, and who better to discuss this?
And
a 60-something and a 50-something-year-old white guy.
What do you make of this rap war, this sort of renaissance of the 90s rap wars?
I think it's great. It's great.
Great?
It's great for...
Somebody got shot today.
Oh, well, you know, you have to make your hard-nosed decisions. No, I think it's great. It's fun. I think it's fun.
Why can't we all get along?
That are all... Why can't we all get along? Because sociopaths want all of it.
But why
They don't want to share.
Why Drake and Kendrick Lamar? I mean, why are mommy and daddy fighting?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Why are they? What?
I believe the kids call it beefing.
I know. It is beefing.
I know. I'm single. I'm into all those no cap.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that world. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Has 60 Minutes done you yet?
No.
See, it never stops. That whole thing about, you know, why am I not? Somebody passed me. They got 60 Minutes.
No. I like where I am in this business.
Yeah.
I like that. I just do what I do, and whoever likes it, and whoever doesn't moves on to something else. I don't have like
I bet
that.
you 60 Minutes does you within the next 2 years.
I'll take that bet.
All right. Well, I had a ball.
I had a great time.
I hope so, because
You're my favorite smarmy person in this
you're
business.
Okay.
Hey, Clubber.
I can see why you glazed. Burr carried so hard. Of course.